habitat, specific structural options.
Is there more to finding walleyes than locating deep water and rocks? You bet. They're a versatile and adaptable fish capable of making long-distance seasonal migrations. Different groups of fish can set up in different locations all around the lake, and to make matters even more complicated, each group is not necessarily active at the same time of day. Locating and catching them makes for an interesting challenge. Now that we understand the walleye seasonal needs and how it can adapt to different environments, let's examine how they relate to the different kinds of spots you're likely to find them in.
Drop-offs, edges, cover, current, structure, all play an important part in the aquatic world. They often define exactly how fish relate to areas of a lake, river, or reservoir. Understanding how walleyes use these and other aspects of the underwater environment is essential to catching them.
But before we explore these individual elements, it's important to point out a common mistake that many people make. Even an experienced angler like our friend here might say,
I'm a structure fisherman. I fish drop-offs, points, underwater humps, creek channel bends, and current breaks. I catch walleye on edges and changes in the environment which concentrate active fish. Structure is the key.
Well, this is largely true. However, many people make the mistake of fishing structure for structure's sake. They think that fishing a point, drop-off, or hump is the key. It's only one of the keys, and here are 3 examples to prove the point. Let's say our angler fishes a 40-foot deep rock hump on opening day of the Minnesota walleye season in May. He's fishing beautiful, fishy-looking structure. Unfortunately for him, the fish are in the 5 to 20-foot depth range, dispersing from rocky spawning inlets using shoreline points and weed flats. He strikes out. Now let's say that it's August, and he's fishing the 32-foot deep tip of a large rock and sand point, right on the drop-off. It looks beautiful. It's classic structure. Trouble is, it's below the 25-foot deep summer thermocline, and there's no oxygen there. It might be a great fall spot, but right now, the walleyes are all shallower than 25 feet. Some use drop-off edges, some suspend, and others are in the weeds. There are no fish present where he's fishing. He thinks they're not biting. Next, our fisherman fishes the exact little points and fingers along a 6-foot deep rock hump, being careful to hit every possible fish concentration point. But it's fall. The water is clear, the sun is bright, and it's dead calm. There are no walleyes this shallow on the hump. Fish in the area are 35 feet deep during the day, although they might come up shallow at night or if it's windy. He blanks out. In each case, our angler used great techniques to fish gorgeous-looking structure. In each case, he was in the right place, but at the wrong time. Yes, there's more to catching walleyes than simply fishing structure, drop-offs, and edges. You must understand the fish's seasonal needs and predict the kind of spawning, living, and feeding areas a body of water offers at that time of year. Once you decide on the likely options, then you go out on the lake, select probable underwater areas, and put your structure fishing savvy into play. Taking advantage of 20/20 hindsight, our example angler should have, first, fished the edges of weed flats or the first drop-off for post-spawn walleyes. Second, concentrated on the edges of mid-depth points or deep weed beds in summer. And third, fished deep structure in the cold water of fall. Then he'd have been in the right place at the right time, putting his expertise into play correctly. Depending on body of water characteristics and time of year, you can see a host of walleye behavior in your travels. There will be fish using classic points, humps, and current breaks. But you'll also find fish making seasonal use of weed or wood cover or suspending in open water. Sometimes they're spread across shallow or deep flats. They might even be up in 3 feet of water at night or in windswept conditions during the day. In short, you can have few preconceived notions because fish behavior can be radically different in varied environments. You must react to the conditions each and every time you go on the water. Rely on the basic principles, but make sure you put them into use properly.